Remember that picture I showed of you of Varian? Doesn't he look like a cheeseburger?
No.
Yes, he does. He's got that thing that he's all, the alliance, you know? If you are not a face itches. I probably sound crazy. Hey everyone, I'm about to get extremely nerdy on you, so if you are not a fan of the Warcraft universe or you don't know much about it, this is all gonna go over your head. So I apologize ahead of time. But today I'm trying to decide what blew me away more, the new Warcraft movie trailer or the World of Warcraft Legion cinematic trailer. I don't know. Maybe we can find out right now. Granted, the Warcraft trailer still looks amazing. I love it. It's something that is extremely interesting to me because I'm a huge fan of the lore of everything. I'm not an expert on Warcraft lore, but it looks awesome. Now, some of the key points just from the actual trailer itself. The CGI and the live action, it kind of looks a little bit weird, but I'd have to see a little bit more interaction of it. That was like less than 2 minutes of movie footage. Also, Travis Fimmel's armor for Lothar looks like it came out of a cosplay garage. No disrespect to cosplayers, but also, Orgrim's armor, it should have been the actual armor from Blackhand, which is the War Chief armor, that black and gold kind of armor, because Orgrim defeated Blackhand and Mak'gora, he got his armor, and then he passed it on to Thrall, who was the next War Chief after him, right? That's how it should have gone, but he's got some weird loincloth action going on down there, and I don't know what it is. But also, I thought Duratan died before he came to Azeroth. Not sure what's going on there either, but I'm also not an expert on the lore, like I said, so I could be wrong. Also, Lothar, which is Travis Fimmel's character, Lothar is actually a really old bald dude, and he's got a beard, so they got the beard part right, but I guess for the sake of the character and everything, they decided on Travis Fimmel, so I hope he's going to do a good job. He was great in Vikings. Also, the King of Stormwind I didn't think had a British accent because his son Varian has an American accent. That's a little weird too. So there's a few minor details that you can nitpick from it, but all in all, it's fan service. It's hopefully going to be an amazing movie, but the most disappointing thing, if I had to pick one thing that I could walk away with being disappointed about this trailer, is Lothar didn't have to wait for 30 minutes in the LFR queue before his queue popped and he found his raid party. He might have had a guild time or something, but I thought that's really nerdy. Anyway, the Legion trailer looks incredible. We got to see some explosive action. There was water blown up in people's faces. There was infernals blown up into ships. There was Varian walking around with some heart-to-heart conversation monologue thing that he was having with Anduin, his son, which is cool because he also points out a few key things that maybe you might have missed, maybe you saw as well, maybe you noticed more than I did. But he says, "Son, I now know that peace is the most noble cause," or whatever he says verbatim. And then after he gets his B-res in the water and he actually wakes up and comes back up, he says, "But you have to fight for it." So he then comes up, split Charlemagne in half, which represent his dual personalities from when Onyxia did her whole thing with him. And then he starts fighting again. That's really cool to me as a fan of everything, but he did lose his shoulder pieces, so he probably lost a lot of stamina and multi-strike. But let's hope there's some really interesting things that unfold with the storyline because of that, because he was also working with Sylvanas side by side. So some people think Varian's going to die because you get to see the wrinkles in his face. You get to see he's kind of aging a little bit. So someone told me the other day, I think Varian is going to die. And so maybe Anduin takes up the reins of the Alliance. Maybe it kind of passes on to some other random person like Jen Greymane. Maybe he finally does something with his life and it goes over to him. I don't know. But we did finally get to see Sylvanas. So that's something that I'm really excited about just because we've never seen Sylvanas in that kind of light before. She looks different than she is in the game. She looks better, I think. And you get to see her in action, which is a lot of fan service there also. Hopefully she finally goes off the deep end. We got to see how crazy she was able to get during Wrath of the Lich King, a little bit during Miss of Pandaria, whenever she's trying to get Garrosh out of power, help everyone else also. I don't know. Varian finally doesn't look like a cheeseburger, so that's some good news. Their Infernals were also something that was very pleasing to me because you get to see them during the Burning Crusade. And it's kind of cool that, you know, something centered around the Legion goes back and it shows the Infernals again. it's cool that you get to see how they die, because before you just see their health bar go down and then a bunch of rocks fall to the ground, but you actually see Sylvanas fire a couple arrows at one, whether there's a chimera shot or something, I don't know, but then Varian gets his sword and slashes one across the chest, and you get to see its wound open, and you get to see it fall and whatever, you get to see it writhe in pain or something. That's extremely interesting to me, that you get to see that. Maybe there's some more interaction with Infernals. You get to see that also with Illidan on the wallpaper that came out when they initially announced the expansion. But hopefully there's going to be some intriguing things that will happen with story, and also some better class unfolding throughout BlizzCon. We still don't know everything that's going to go on. We want to hear a little bit more about all of the class changes, especially the Demon Hunter and everything, but I digress. Walking away from everything, I'd have to say the Legion cinematic trailer blew me away the most. The more I think about it, seeing Sylvanas, finally get to see a lot more of Varian, get a little bit more of the Alliance feel to it. It's going to be great. I'm excited for it. I'm also excited for the movie. There's a lot of fan service with that, but I probably have to say Legion is what blew me away most so far at BlizzCon. But as for that, for the Horde guys, we'll talk to you soon.